Swamiji. My humble pranams and happy Navaratri to all of you. First of all, I want to express my deepest gratitude to Swamiji. We were so fortunate and honored to have Swamiji here in California. And as you might know, Swamiji has led several retreats in India and outside. But this was the first time in US. And despite of Swamiji's hectic schedule, Swamiji was able to make his trip and spend time with us. We are truly grateful for your presence, and I want to thank you, Swamiji, from my bottom of my heart for continuing this Kenopanishad class. Um, for those who couldn't join the retreat, I wanted to share a recap of what we did. Um, the retreat was inaugurated by Pujya Swamiji Tattvamayananda from the Vedanta Society of SFO. The topic for the retreat was practical approach to Kenopanishad. During this retreat, like Swamiji explained the invocation prayer from Samaveda and also completed the first 3 slokas from chapter 1. So we have recorded all the talks and Q&A sessions, and these will be available in the Advaithashramam YouTube channel. I think some of the videos are already published, and you will see rest of them in the upcoming weeks. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And we got really good feedback about the retreat, and all participants were like very keen, and they showed the interest in continuing learning the Kenopanishads. So as per our request, like Swamiji graciously agreed to teach us, and that's how we are here on this auspicious day of Navaratri. And thanks to all of you who joined this class. Uh, I just want to say like the general guidelines about this class. So Swamiji will be giving the lecture in the first half, and then will be followed by a Q&A session. But today might be exceptional because today is Navaratri day and Swamiji might be busy. So during the Q&A session, you can raise your hand and ask questions. And if that is not possible, you can even ask questions in the chat window. So please mute all the time unless you're talking. And all these sessions will be recorded and will be available in the Advaithashramam YouTube channel. So we'll share the link in the WhatsApp group. And we also recommend to switch on the video if possible, so that Swamiji can see all the audience. And Swamiji, I would like to hand over to you now. Namaste, Swamiji.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak-pranaschakshuhu Shrotramadho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakaroda Nirakaranamasva Nirakaranam Mestu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharma Te Mayi Santo Te Mayi Santo Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh. So we are starting an online class now based on Kenopanishad. But as Sumaji explained earlier, this is in continuation of the retreat we had in California. So many persons who attended that retreat are here in this online class also. But there are many who didn't attend that. Of course, they can have that in the YouTube channel. But as we are starting, let us recollect the main topic discussed in the first three mantras of Kenopanishad. In our retreat, we have seen those three mantras. So actually, we have to start the fourth mantra in this online class. But that we will do after seeing the summary of what has been taught in the three mantras. First of all, we have to understand Vedanta or Upanishad is not for all. One who is satisfied with the world, or one who is satisfied with the things around us, all the phenomena we are experiencing, for him there is no need of Upanishad, because he is happy with the world. He is happy with the phenomena being experienced. For example, in the individual level and in the cosmic level, innumerable phenomena we are seeing, we are experiencing. In the individual level, we are seeing. How that is happening? The answer is very simple. Because I have eyes and eyesight, I am seeing the object. Or we are hearing the sound. Why? The answer is very simple. Because I have ear and the ability to hear, so I am hearing. For a person who is satisfied with this physical explanation, for him there is no need of any Vedanta or Upanishadic teaching, because he is happy with the world. I am enjoying, I am having this and that object, and I'm happy with that. Let him be happy. Don't go to him and scratch and ask him to learn Upanishad. No. Because he is satisfied. He is happy. But there are many who are inquiring, what is the cause of all this? I am seeing the world, and innumerable phenomena are there in the world or in the universe. So for every effect, there must be a cause. Without a cause, no effect will be there. So what is that cause? This inquiry is there in a few, of course, and from that inquiry comes all the branches of science. don't divide those sciences or those branches of science into physical and metaphysical. No. Don't divide that into science and philosophy. No. Let us say all branches of science. The source of all these branches of science is this inquiry: what is the cause of all? How these phenomena are happening? You are saying because you have eye, you are seeing. But how? Who is giving that power to eye? Who is giving that power to ears? We are sensing the smell. How? Through nose. But who is giving that? What is the principle behind? This inquiry is there. And for those who are inquiring, for them, we have different branches of science. Here we can see a genuine seeker who is having these queries with it. He is not satisfied with what he is seeing or what he is experiencing. So he is inquiring. And we can see direct questions from that inquiring mind or that inquiring intellect. That is the first mantra of the Kenopanishad. See, the very name Kenopanishad itself shows that it itself gives a very great message that this is for the inquiring mind. And therefore, it is not something to be believed. It is not something to be believed. It is to be inquired and it is to be realized. Because the name of the Upanishad is Kenopanishad. The meaning of Kena is by whom in the masculine gender and by which in the neutral gender. In both ways, Kena will come. It is the third vibhakti, the singular of Kim Shabda. So Kena means in the neutral gender by which, and in the masculine gender by who. So all these phenomena are happening. The question is by whom? By which? An instrument cannot work by itself. There must be somebody, there must be some principle, there must be something which is making that instrument work. Who is that? What is that? This is the question. And in the most direct way, this question is put forth. And that question is, Keneshidam patati preshitam manaha Kena prana pradhama praiti yuktaha Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti Chakshu shrotram ka udevo yunakti. Keneshidam patati preshidam manaha. This mind is always working. It is thinking. in different ways. Always it is moving, it is working. Sometimes it goes to unwanted parts and getting sorrows from that. Sometimes it goes to auspicious places. Different experiences it is begetting from going here and there. That we all know. So mind being an instrument will not work by itself. So what is that principle which is making the mind move? Who is that? Who is that making the mind move? Who is controlling this mind? Or who is propelling this mind? This is the question. Keneshitam. Ordered by whom? Or desired by whom? The mind is entering into different thoughts. Who is that? Behind the functioning of the mind. Who is that? Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. So mind is going to different subjects and it is objectifying everything. Anything and everything it will objectify, this mind. So who is sending this mind? Who is making this mind function? This is the question. Keneshitam patadi preshitam manaha. Kena prana pradhama praiti yuktaha. By whom this prana is being controlled? Who is making prana work? And so this is the question. Prana is the vital energy. It is always working and making all other instruments work without any rest. See, all of us are working in our own fields. Everybody have their own work. While doing this work, everybody requires some rest, no? At least once in a week or once in a month. Everybody requires rest. A holiday. But see the prana, it is not at all taking any holiday, no vacation at all. It is always working, working, working. Not only working, but making other limbs of this body work. So there must be some principle, somebody, some master who is making this work. Who is that? What is that principle? Because prana, being an instrument, cannot function by itself. Then who is that? What is that? This is the question. Kena prana pradhama praiti yuktaha. So there is a word pradhama. Pradhama means the first. See, all the limbs of our body, all the organs of our body, all senses of cognition and organs of action are working because there is prana. Prana is not making them work. There is some principle which is higher than prana, and about that the question is put forth. But for all these limbs to work, there must be prana. Without prana, nothing will work. It is the vital energy, and therefore the Upanishad attaches a word prathama, the first among other instruments. So this prana, who is the first, how he is working, what is making him work, what is that principle? Kena prana pradhama praiti yuktaha. And keneshitam vacham imam vadanti. Always the speech, it is manifesting, it is working. Without trust, it is working. How speech is working? Who is making it work? See, there are different stages of speech. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari, all these things we will discuss later. But the question is, always words are coming out, carrying different meanings, some conveying something positive, some conveying something negative. And speech being an instrument, it cannot work by itself. So who is making that work? What is that principle? This is the question. Keneshitam vacham vadanti chakshu shrotram ka udevo yunakti. Which deva is controlling chakshuhu shrotram cha? Chakshuhu means eye. We can take it as a plural. It is singular, of course. Chakshuhu is singular. But while understanding the meaning of the Upanishad, we can take it as a plural. All the eyes, not of one individual. So chakshuhu, shrotram, ear. There also it is singular. So who is controlling that? Yunakti. Yunakti means controlling. Who is controlling? So this is the question. So it is very clear from this question that one who is satisfied with what he is seeing outside, or one who is satisfied with what he is experiencing outside, will not ask such a question. But who is inquiring the cause of all, the rule behind all phenomena, or cause of all effects. So one who is inquiring that, who have that thirst to understand that, he is asking. So we can take it as a question of a genuine seeker to a scholar or knower of truth, one realized person. So this is the first mantra of Kenopanishad. Of course, we had to discuss in detail, but the first mantra, 3 mantras we have completed in our retreat there, and it is available in the YouTube channel. So I'm not going to explain in detail these 3 mantras. After the 3 mantras, we can start explaining from 4th mantra. But just for reaching at that, just we are going through that mantras. So first mantra is that, this question of the student, question of the seeker. Then Guru is replying. So the reply of the Guru that we can see in the second mantra. See, second mantra is Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yat Vachoha Vacham Sau Pranasya Pranaha Chakshusha Chakshuratimuchya Dhiraha Pretyasma Lokat Amrita Bhavanti Na Tatra Chakshurgachadi Na Vaggachadi No Mano Na Vitmo Na Vijanimo Yathaidad Anushishyad Anyadeva Tat Vididat Atho Avididat Adhi Idi Shushruma Purvesham Ye Nastatvya Chakshire. These are the second and third mantras. Let us first go through the second mantra. As we have seen earlier, we are not going to explain this, but just to the purpose of understanding and reaching at the fourth mantra, we are going to this. So here, Guru is replying, Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manaha Yad Vachoha Vacham Sau Pranasya Pranaha Chakshusha Chakshuhu. This is the reply. See, the question was, who is controlling these instruments? What is that principle which is controlling all these instruments? The Guru says, Shrotrasya Shrotram, ear of the ear. Hey, what sort of answer this is? The question was very clear. Who is controlling ear, or who is making ear work or function? This was the question. So a plain question it was, and the answer must be in a plain language, simple language. But here Guru says, it is Shrotrasya Shrotram. It is ear of the ear. What is this? Instead of replying in a direct language, why the Guru is using such a language? Shrotrasya Shrotram, ear of the ear. There is no ear for ear. Here we are seeing, and we know that it is hearing. And what is ear? Ear is not that we are seeing outside. Of course, for ear to function, these outer parts are essential. But the ear as an indriya, that is a sense of cognition, it is subtle, not gross. It is not gross. Very subtle, because Shrotram is a part of subtle body, not the gross body. It functions through the gross parts. That is true. All the indriyas are functioning through gross parts, but they are not gross. They are not a part of the gross body. They are parts of subtle body. And therefore they are subtle. We cannot see that. But the subtle instrument works through gross body. So for that to function, there must be a particular center in the brain and a neurosystem which is connecting that point and and the outer part. All these must work together, but all these are in the gross body. Even the subtlest part in the brain, they are in the gross body, not in the subtle body. But the Indriya is subtle. It works through the gross body. So, Shrotram is something subtle. We will not go outside to see what Shrotram is or where Shrotram is. Instead of going outside, we will go inside. We have to go inside. Even though it is seeing through or hearing through outer parts of this body, we know it is subtle and it is inside. So we will go in search of ear, Shrotram, inside. Then Guru says it is the Shrotram of the Shrotram, ear of the ear. Subtler than the subtlest. For seeing that, we have to go inside, dive deep into our own individuality. What is that? So the inquiry of the seeker, it will go inside, hearing this answer of the Guru. So there must be some faculty which is making or which is controlling ear. I don't know what it is, but there must be some faculty. There must be some principle. That is one point the student is getting from the answer. And the other point is, it is something inner. So I have to dive deep into my own individuality, not outside. What it is, where it is, I don't know now, because it is the primary stage of inquiry. More and more deeper, the student have to travel. But now, even though he is not recognizing what it is, he is having this knowledge or this much knowledge, we have to dive deep into our own individuality in search of that. Shrotrasya Shrotram. So there is a Shrotram of the Shrotram that is subtle than the subtle. And for recognizing that, you have to go inside your individuality. Analyze different sheets of our individuality and do inquiry. This is the message a student is getting. Now Guru is continuing. Manaso manaha, the mind of the mind. Mind is very subtle and it is thinking. And for the mind to function, there must be a faculty within which is making that work. You inquire what it is. Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Manaha, Yad Vachoha Vacham. Vachoha Vacham. There, grammatically, it is not correct. It must be Vachoha Vak. But this is a part of Veda. And as it is Veda, we will never say it is incorrect. For our understanding purpose, we have to take it as vachoha vak. That is the speech of the speech. Speech of the speech. Words are there. They are coming out of the instrument of speech. And of course, that organ of action, it is subtle, and there must be still subtler faculty which is controlling that, at the behest of which the speech is working. It is making words. It is manifesting as words and sentences, and it is conveying idea from one person to others. Who is that? You inquire. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manaha yadvachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha. In the same way, pranasya pranaha, the prana of the prana. Prana is the vital energy. Prana is the vital force which is making all other limbs of this body work. Even though it is making all other limbs work, there must be something, some faculty which is controlling this prana. Because prana is not working by itself. So what is that? For recognizing that principle, you have to go deeper. This is the message. Pranasya pranaha, chakshusha chakshuhu. The eye of the eye. Eye is seeing, eyes are seeing, but the eyes are just instruments. Instruments cannot work by itself. There must be some faculty, some principle, some power behind that. Because of that, the eyes are seeing. What is that? Chakshusha chakshuhu. See, this is a complete answer to the question of the student. Now, to give an answer, just an answer, Guru is not required. You can go to Google, you can go to any artificial intelligence app and can question. It will give answer to your question. So just giving answer is not the work of the Guru. When Guru asks some question to student must give reply, answer to that question. Not more than that. A student cannot add more when Guru questions. But when the student asks some doubt to the Guru, simply giving a reply, simply giving an answer is not the work of the Guru. But Guru have to take the student from that state of inquiry to the highest goal of the human life. Simply answering a question is not the work of the Guru. For that, Guru is not at all required. Guru is for taking the inquirer from that level of inquiry to the highest goal of human life. That is the greatness of the Guru. That is the necessity of the Guru. And that is the work of the Guru. And therefore, Guru, he is taking the Shishya, the inquirer, from that level to the next higher level. What is that? Atimuchya dhiraha pretya asma lokad amrita bhavanti. Atimuchya dhiraha pretya asma lokad amrita bhavanti. Atimuchya, overcoming or transcending. Transcending this level, dhiraha. Dhiraha, we cannot translate that shabda into English because dhira is dhira. One who is controlling his mind and intellect is dhira. Dhiyam rati iti dhira. Dhiyam rati iti dhira. One who is controlling his own intellect or his own mind is a dhira. Most commonly, we translate the shabda dhira as courageous. Of course, that is true. But dhira is something higher than courageous. So dhiraha, one who can control his own mind and intellect, having transcended this level, pretya asma lokat, pretya, going above. Pretya, going above. Or again, transcending. And the verbal meaning is after dying. After dying. That is the verbal meaning. Pretya. So after transcending or overcoming or going above. Above what? Asma lokad. This world. See, when we translate the shabda loka or lokam, the only word we can use in English is the world. Or when we translate the shabda bhuvanam into English, it is world. When we translate jagat into English, it is world. But in Sanskrita, all these terms are having different meanings. For example, lokam means the level of experience. What we are experiencing is the world. Lokyate, drishyate, bhujyate iti lokam. What is being experienced, that is lokam. When we say jagat, the meaning is what is constantly moving. Constantly moving, that is jagat. Or when we say bhuvanam, the meaning would be where all beings are manifesting, where all beings are coming. That is bhuvanam. Bhavandi asmin bhutani iti bhuvanam. So here the shabda lokam is used. That is the level of experience or the world of experience, field of experience. preti asma lokad amrita bhavanti, becomes immortal beings. Becomes immortal beings. So just to see the meaning of this part of this mantra in simple language. After knowing this and transcending, the dhira will become immortal. How? Getting above the level of fields of experience. See? Questions are there to get answers. And why we are getting answers? For our understanding, for knowing. So it is implied there in this mantra that knowing that which is controlling all the instruments, knowing that which is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, prana of the prana, mind of the mind, intellect of the intellect, knowing that, what will happen? We will transcend the superimpositions or our false identifications with the body, mind, intellect complex. See, now we are identifying with this body, mind, intellect complex as myself. I am this. I have no doubt. I am this. I am this body. And my name is Swami Chidananda Puri. It is constantly decaying. The body is constantly changing. So ever-changing body cannot be me. It is my. In the same way, all the instruments of this body, they are my instruments. I am not that. I am not that. Then who am I? This is the basic inquiry. So understanding the real self, which is controlling all instruments of this body, our false identifications will be thrown away. It will go. It is the natural effect of this understanding or this recognition. As long as I am considering myself as this body, this mind, this intellect complex, because of so many false identifications, I am in the midst of sorrows of the world. The midst of the sorrows of the world. Because this body is ever changing. It's ever decaying. And there is always death. And human being always is in search of immortality. How can I transcend the death? What is the way? This is the quest. And this quest was there from time immemorial. We cannot say when this began. So here, Guru is saying, O Shishya, O disciple, if you understand that faculty, which is controlling all the instruments from within, and identify that as yourself. Let me repeat once more. If you are identifying that as the self, then your false identification will go. It will vanish. So that is transcending this, atimuchya. But it is not an easy job. Because we are attached to these objects of the world, and we are considering this body, mind, intellect complex as ourselves. And as long as this identification is there, it is not an easy job. And therefore it is said, dhiraha. Dhiraha. Just as the salmon fish, all other creatures will run as the flow of the current of river takes them. But only salmon fish, it will swim against the water current in search of its originating point, in search of the source. What is that point? From where I came. In search of that, it travels hundreds and hundreds of miles against fighting the current of the water, river. See, in the same way, almost all of us are being carried away by the current of Maya to different ports. But Dhira, having that courage of inquiry, that steadfastness, he alone will swim against the current of the river and inquire, who am I, who am I? Discarding all false identifications, getting above these false identifications, then what will happen? Then we will be above the field of experience. Otherwise, we will be attached to what we have seen, attached to what we are hearing, attached to what we are smelling, attached to what we are touching. In simple language, the world, the plane of experience. But when this false identification drops, then naturally, as the natural effect, what happens? Our attachment with the seen world, it will go. That is pretya asma lokad. Then what happens? Amrita bhavanti. Becomes immortal beings. See, as long as we are considering ourselves as this body, death will be there. We cannot avoid that, because this body will die. If we are considering this body as myself, I have to die. There is no question of escaping from that. But when we recognize this is not me, this is an instrument or this is a set of instruments put together for me, and I am the master of this. I am above this. I have no death, no birth. This body, of course, it have a birth and therefore a death. But I am above this birth and death. When that realization is there, when that recognition is there, then he is above death and birth. He is above. So that is the teaching of the Guru. This is the central teaching of the Guru. It is not simple answer to the question of the disciple. Simple answer to the question of disciple is the first part. That is Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Manoyat, Vachoha Vacham, Sau Pranasya Pranaha, Chakshusha Chakshuhu. There ends the answer. Then Guru takes the Shishya from that level to higher levels of inquiry and realization. And when that realization happens, he is no more a part of this world. He is above the world. That is Pretya Asmal Lokat. Then he is immortal. That is my real self. That knowledge, that realization is there. So this is the teaching Guru gives. He is taking Shishya from the level of his inquiry to the ultimate goal of human life. That is going above the cycle of birth and death. So how this inquiry is, how it should be, how we can enter into that inquiry. It is not some beliefs. It is above all faith systems and beliefs. In a most rational way, most logically, Guru is showing what is the path of inquiry. So that is explained in the third mantra, and I think we will go to that mantra in our next sitting. Actually, the time fixed is 1.5 hours. 1 hour explanation of Upanishad and half an hour question answers. But today, I think we will conclude now. In our next sitting, we will continue. So by the time we can send the news, details of this Zoom class to our others who can join this, because however this is happening, so let it benefit more. But genuine seekers, those who want to study Upanishad. So I think we will continue in our next sitting. But one more thing, let me repeat. We have to, even though we are doing this through online media, we have to follow the traditional way of study. And the traditional way of study, before and after Upanishadic study, we have to chant Shanti Mantra. And this being a part of Kenopanishad, this Kenopanishad is a part of Samaveda. The Shanti Mantra is Apyayantu Mamangani. For detailed explanation of that mantra, please go to the class we have taken there in California, that you will hear in the YouTube channel. So please go to that before joining our next session. think we can conclude now. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshuhu shrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakaroda nirakaranamastua nirakaranam mestu तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तो ओम शांति 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 ही।